Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Innovation Women Public Speaking 101. If I haven't met you already, hi, I'm Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women, and I'm here today with Phoebe, who's a member of our team. Phoebe, want to say hello? Tell people a little bit about what you do.
Yes, of course. Happy to be here, everyone. I am Phoebe. I'm on the Innovation Women team, as Bobby said. I love helping out with customer success. You've probably seen me a lot in the community, Innovation Women Network, sending out some messages over there, and doing some social posts as well. So I'm happy to hang out in the chat and answer any questions that you guys might have. So yeah, please let them come to us.
All right. And so, what we're going to do now is we're just going to get started and jump right in. But again, if you have any questions while I'm presenting, drop that in the Q&A. It helps differentiate it from the chat. And Phoebe will help out with that. And Phoebe will also flag me down if people need me to stop and go over something. Um, Usually, the question I start off is by asking people, tell us why you're here today. And that's a great option to drop in the chat. What are you looking for? Number one, so we make sure we answer those questions. And number two, this is a question that a lot of people ask about public speaking. A lot of times, the whys for public speaking include everything from I have a message I want to share with the world, or it's something where perhaps maybe it's something to support my career goals, or maybe I'm building a business and my personal favorite, a friend sent me or my boss sent me. One of the things about Innovation Women is we have created a whole, I'd say, hashtag community around speaker friends, and we do help each other out quite a bit. So, a lot of referrals come to Innovation Women from a friend. But back to that career thing, also, a lot of bosses will say, hey, you need to get more comfortable with public speaking before we can promote you. That's important. It could also be that you are feeling, well, maybe a little underrepresented. Two-thirds of all conference speakers are men, and that leaves women out of a lot of career and business opportunities. Also, FYI, we do welcome in other underrepresented folks. And so I always say that if a guy really wants to be a member of Innovation Women, he's probably the kind of guy that we would be interested in having in our community. If I haven't met you before, just a little background on me. Innovation Women is actually my third company. So the day job is I founded another company called Carlton PR and Marketing. That's the day job. The night job for many years was something called Mass Innovation Nights, which was a monthly new product launch event. And because I was doing so many events, we had a weekly newsletter where we promoted other people's events. It's how I first got our big list of event managers to work with me. We were sending out a weekly newsletter promoting other people's events. So we have a day job, a night job, and that means Innovation Women is the dream job. It's the dream of getting more women on stage at conferences and events. And I'm not just the founder, I am also a speaker myself. I've done a TEDx presentation on 3 days' notice. Be kind. I've also spoken at some cool places like the United Nations. And during the pandemic, I actually engaged in some retail therapy and bought two more companies. My Speaker Leads is a research service for professional speakers. It came with a 3-person full time research team, which has now grown to be a 6-person full time research team, and also Lioness Magazine for the female entrepreneur. Lioness is a special case. We get to use that to help promote thought leadership and expert status among our members. So, both of these were great investments in growing the Innovation Women community. All of that aside, I have one job today, and that is to get each and every one of you to say yes to public speaking. Now, I know that a lot of people think that public speaking is scary. We're here to say you've got friends, and we're going to help you with that. If you are considering public speaking, one of the reasons to think about it is that it provides visibility. So every time you're on stage, you get to tell your stories, you get to connect with audiences, and they get to learn a little bit more about you. You get all kinds of business and career opportunities from that visibility. These are the 5 C's of public speaking, the benefits. Number one, you get to address and demonstrate your own competence. Number two, you get to build your own confidence. And a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to like work up to being a public speaker. And when I feel confident, then I will step out on stage. I'm here to tell you that all of the public speaking that you do, it will actually help you build your confidence. When you are successful on stage, you will feel more confident. And I know of this thing. I speak, I live it because I'm an introvert as well. And every time I get on stage, I feel just a little bit better about public speaking. You are also making connections. Connections is the 3rd C. And it's not just the connections with the people who are in the room when you are speaking. You are making connections before you ever step foot on stage. Think about it. You are the content that that conference or that event is promoting. They are sending around email blasts. They are promoting you in their ads, on their websites, in their social media. People are learning your name. People are learning about your area of expertise. They're hearing your company name. And when you do speak to that audience in that room, you could potentially be saying something brilliant and they will tell someone that they heard you. You're making those 2nd-degree connections. The next C is credibility. You are gaining credibility every time you step foot on stage. People are hearing you, they are appreciating you for your expertise, and because you are up on stage, you are considered the expert. You've been vetted. I almost knocked over my coffee. I got so excited there. It's still standing. All right, as am I. Good job. All right. And then the last C, cold hard cash, everybody's favorite. Now, I will tell you, not every speaking engagement is paid. In fact, 50% of all event managers have no budget whatsoever for speakers. 42% pay some speakers. And yep, that means math. 8% of event managers pay all or most of their speakers. But when you are on stage, it's not just being paid by the organizers. You could potentially be sponsored. You could be engaging with potential clients or partners. There's all kinds of different ways that speakers get paid by speaking, and it's not just through the organizers. Money follows speaking. When you are a entrepreneur and you are on stage, you could potentially be connecting with funders and investors. You could be connecting with clients. So cash follows speaking. This sounds great, Bobbie. All right. So why? Why and will I find these opportunities and where will I find them? Well, there's a little thing we call the speaker's paradise. The speaker's paradise is that there are so many opportunities that you have opportunities. 50,000 individual TEDx talks from 13,000 TEDx events. Last year, Eventbrite sold tickets to more than 5 million events. Every month, there are more than 300,000 meetups, and 40 to 50% of them have speakers. 92,000 professional organizations in the US alone. And right now, in the Innovation Women database, there are over 800 events that are actively seeking speakers. And those events don't just represent one opportunity or two, some of them are huge conferences, multi track, multi day, with panels. We've worked with conferences that are looking for more than 500, 600 speakers. So those 800 events represent a lot of opportunity. What are they representing? What is in our database? Well, and this is something very important to understand if you're interested in getting into the speaking game. The basic currency of public speaking is what we call the call for speakers. Sometimes you'll see it written as call for proposals, request for speakers, call for papers, but the basic wording is call for speakers. We can actually help you find those opportunities. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that, but I also want to show you the other things that Innovation Women can help you with. Number one, we are a great place if you are just getting started with public speaking. We have hundreds of hours of training, of asynchronous learning, resource sheets, educational modules, and live events where people are sharing knowledge. If you want to learn more, maybe you have done some public speaking. We also have a cohort program. We have the weekly speaker friend meetings. And by the way, anybody can attend those. We also are promoting some interesting things that you might not think about. For example, Innovation Women has its own bookstore. That's because there's often a lot of overlap between speaking and authorship. So if you're a content creator, whether it is a book or a podcast, we have a special offering and special programs for that. And we provide you with all the basic speaker tools. We're going to help you figure out what a speaker biography looks like, how to share the stories that bring your profile to life, what are the topics that people are looking for, and then there's the abstracts or example talks. These are the kinds of things that as you are filling out your Innovation Women profile, you're going to be learning about the importance of these things. You're also going to be getting a speaker video. One of the things that a lot of event managers have told us is they want to see our speakers in action. They want to see a video of you. And if you've been exploring public speaking, you'll often hear this called a sizzle reel. A sizzle reel is a collection of video of you on stage to help event managers really understand what it is they're getting when you step out there. Now, if you're just getting started, you don't have that video yet. It's a catch-22. So we have partnered with a company called Answer Stage, and we give all of our speakers access to a special Answer Stage template that allows them to introduce themselves to event managers, talk about their area of expertise, and then introduce what we call the signature talk. This is the talk that people know you for. We'll also help you with another very basic tool of public speaking, which is the speaker one sheet. Now, a lot of people think, oh, one sheet, one page. Not necessarily. The idea behind a speaker one sheet is it's one place where you can find out just about everything that a speaker represents. As an event manager, you often have to print off those one sheets and take them with you into meetings where you're deciding who it is going to be the keynote speaker for your next event. So if you don't have a speaker one sheet, we have a knowledge session, we have an educational module with a video, explanations, and templates. This is just one example of all of the things that we provide for our members. We're trying to make it so that all of our members have all of the basic tools they need to get speaking engagements. We also help people find speakers and experts. One of the interesting aspects of this is we are a two-sided marketplace. That means that we talk to both the event managers and the speakers and subject matter experts on the other side. So we invite in and we market to event managers and organizers, also podcasters who might be looking for guests, journalists who are looking for subject matter experts, and colleges and universities. Sometimes they are looking for guest lecturers. Sometimes they are looking for people who could come in and speak to different organizations. As a speaker on Innovation Women, you also have access to this database. If you need experts, you can find them on Innovation Women. You can search by topic, by industry, by location. If you know who they are, you can search by name, you can search by title. That's something that a lot of event managers who are putting together panels really love, because they can put in a title and get a whole group of people who have that title. So they could put together a panel of chief marketing officers, or a panel of CISOs, or a panel of female founders. So handy little item, that title search. We also provide a supportive community. And if you have been looking around the speaker space at all, you'll know that this is kind of highly unusual. Public speaking is frankly kind of competitive. And we have a whole concept called Speaker Friends where we help each other out. So this supportive community is a great place to connect with other speakers. I love seeing it when our speakers are traveling. They're saying, hey, I'm coming to New York City. I'm coming to Washington, D.C. I'm headed out to Colorado. Who's there who wants to get together? Or who's attending this particular event because I'm speaking at it or I'm visiting this location? And people do get together in person as well as our virtual Speaker Friend Friday events. So that's just one of the benefits of having that supportive community. All right, now I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and see if there are any questions or anything in particular that people are interested in me demonstrating while we do this. So if there is any particular item that you're interested in, drop that information in the Q&A. So, all right, we're going to actually take a turn through Innovation Women and see what we have to offer there. So, and again, if there are any questions while I'm doing this demonstration, drop those in the Q&A or drop them in the chat, and Phoebe will let me know. All right, so Innovation Women, one of the interesting aspects of this is that Innovation Women is actually multiple websites. So this is the external face of Innovation Women. And a couple of quick things. We have a number of resources. Earlier, I mentioned our bookstore, but we have articles, tutorials, information that we're making things available for authors and podcasters, and of course, our speakers. We also have an event section. This is probably not the event calendar you were thinking of, but our event calendar includes where all of our speakers are speaking. We promote what our speakers do. Part of what we're doing is promoting them so their names get known, so people understand what it is they're speaking about. Speaker Friend Friday, I mentioned that earlier. And again, anybody is welcome. We do quick introductions, 15 seconds. It's great practice. Number two, we get into discussion mode. We prioritize questions. And number three, we have breakout rooms where you can literally make speaker friends and contacts. And we have our whole webinar series. We do webinars every other week. I think we have over 150 recorded webinars on everything from how to use AI in your social media campaigns to podcasting to authorship to really terrific strategies around speaking. One of our more popular webinars in terms of people watching the recording is how to get yourself a TEDx talk. So things like that. We do also have our own little shop where you can go and check out some of our cohorts. Those are our regular programs that we do on a monthly basis, teaching people all different aspects of public speaking and how to use the Innovation Women platform. And now we're going to do the login. So, Phoebe, I'm seeing things starting to pop up there. Do we have questions that I need to stop for?
I was waiting for you to log in, so we do have just a question about how the
Okay,
speakers are actually listed in the database. So we
sure.
just like a visual of that. Um,
Okay,
and as well, a second question about if there are examples of sizzle reels on the website.
got it. All right. So we're going to start right off with this is the view that an event manager gets. This is how they can come in and search for speakers. And you'll notice they also have the ability to add a call for speakers to our platform. So you can search by topic, by 190 industries, or by location. We're going to expand those search options for the advanced search. So you can search by name, by title, even where they went to college. A lot of colleges and universities are interested in their own alumni. So this is just a great way for them to come in and find speakers that represent their own community. So I'm just going to start off by searching by on marketing, and you'll notice a number of different keywords pop up. I'm just going to search on basic marketing, and maybe I will also search on the Boston area. So you'll notice that these pop up and it gives me the ability to do an exact match. Like maybe I'm representing the Boston Small Business Administration or the Boston Chamber of Commerce, and I need somebody who's right in Boston. Or maybe it doesn't matter if they're right in Boston. I just want somebody who's local or nearby or regional. So I can do this kind of search. We're going to do a quick search, and you'll see here we have a listing of speakers that we can choose from. Wow, that's a lot of them. Um, Maybe we will go in and search. We can do a different search. And maybe we want to search for somebody who can come and speak at our conference or an event. And we're going to search on author. So it's not just the keywords that they represent, it's also the identities that they hold. Now you notice here that this particular person has an author icon. We have a whole bunch of those. So we have a few authors here. And we also have some speakers who have not only an author icon, but they have a podcaster icon. So lots of great additions here to our platform. I'm going to just grab Elizabeth's profile so you can see a whole profile. So she has her featured video. This is a sizzle reel example here. She has her featured book. She has one of our premium profiles where she can feature her book and or her podcast on her profile. So she's got her biography here, topics that she's speaking on. So some good looking stuff. We're going to go and look at some other profiles here. So, Christy, let's take a look at Christy's profile. Christy has her featured video, a featured book, podcasts, topics that she can speak on, and she also has stories. So, this is her origin story and her best story. Her profile includes her passions. So interesting. Like, we find a lot of speakers like, this is my area of expertise, but this is my passion. This is the thing that gets me very excited. And we also have example talks. This is a title and an abstract of a talk that she is interested in giving. And if I'm an event manager and I want to invite her to speak, I just click on that red invite button and it sends a message directly to her. That means that I, as Innovation Women, I'm not getting between the event manager and the speaker. I'm allowing them to connect directly. It also means I don't take a portion of the speaker fee if Christy gets hired to speak and she is a paid speaker. That money goes directly to her. We are not a traditional speakers bureau. A traditional speakers bureau takes between 20 and 30% of a speaker's fee. So, good things to know. I'm going to go in and show you. You wanted to see a speaker sizzle reel. Now, I happen to know one that is particularly good. Caitlin Donovan actually has a fantastic speaker sizzle reel. I don't think I should probably take the time here, but I will say that if you are looking inside Innovation Women, you're signing up. Caitlin's speaker sizzle reel is just fabulous. I was looking at it recently. Great example of a speaker sizzle reel. This is telling event managers what it is that she can do and do really, really well. All right. Are there more questions, Phoebe? Good for the moment?
That is it for right now.
All right. So I'm also going to go in and show you my speaker profile. This gives you a chance to see what it looks like on the inside. So before I was looking at other people's profiles, so I wasn't seeing the metrics that they get access to. I can go in and edit my profile at any time. I can add new example talks. We also have the promote yourself button. And again, we promote what our speakers do. So our speakers can go in and tell us about their speaking engagements, about their awards, their books or publications, whether they've gotten some media coverage, or maybe they're doing some podcast guesting. They fill out this form, and this powers our social media campaigns, blog posts, and we have a monthly newsletter that goes out called Our Speakers in Action, and it shares that information. I also have a public page. This is something that allows our speakers to have a link that they can use in their email or in their websites or LinkedIn. They can connect people to a public facing profile of Innovation Women. Maybe you don't yet have your own speaker website. This will be a stand in for you. I have a featured video. All of that same information is available externally. So you as an event manager or you as a speaker can be seeing this without signing into Innovation Women. Yes, they still have to go through the Innovation Women platform to invite you, but they can still see your profile. I can edit my profile at any time. And I want to point out that one of the things that I can do as an Innovation Women member is I can actually select keywords and the system will deliver matches for me. I can go into my dashboard and the system has said, hey, based on your keywords and your industry, you might be interested in these particular speaking engagements. So, some really interesting suggestions from it. I can go in and say, no, that one's not quite what I had in mind, or I can go apply for it, or it could be something that I'm like, yep, that's a good match. I already know I'm speaking at it. I can upload my own opportunities. This is great if you want to keep everything in one place. And it also tracks my external applications and things that I've saved for later. So if you are applying for speaking opportunities, it is a excellent idea to track what it is you're doing so you can get a sense of who likes what when they are giving you feedback on your presentations. I can also go in and find speaking opportunities directly without waiting for matches. I can go in and browse the database. As I mentioned, we have about 800 opportunities that are in the database right now. I can filter them based on topic, industry, whether they're in person or online, or again, where we're located. So I can go in and search and say, these are great opportunities because I don't have to travel to speak. And we do have opportunities all over the world. I mean, right now I'm seeing a couple of opportunities from Rwanda and Ghana, as well as, let's see what else we have here. I mean, obviously, we're based in the US, so a lot that you'll find in the US. We have stuff in Canada, Macau, and all over the world. So there are all kinds of opportunities in here. So far, I've shown you the speaker profile. We have the speaking opportunities database, the dashboard, and I can track my own speaking engagements on the platform and attach them to my profile. Helps build out a profile showcasing my expertise. And I have the ability, if I'm an event manager, to create a list of speakers. So this is how, if I've got a book 400, 500 speakers, I'm probably going to go in and create a list. And if I'm an event manager, again, all Innovation Women speakers do have the ability to create their own calls for speakers and send them out to other members of our community. Personally, I'm a speaker, but I'm also the chair for the Forbes Business Council group on public speaking. So I'm always looking for speakers among the Innovation Women members. And I put together a call for speakers here, and speakers apply. In this particular case, I selected this speaker who was speaking at our February event. And I did see a question pop up there, Phoebe. We good?
Nope, sorry, I'm
Nope.
muted. She lives in two locations. Is it
Okay.
possible to show both in the search?
Unfortunately, we do need a single location, but I do recommend that when you have multiple things that you want to showcase, for example, maybe you work in multiple industries, that you include those in the topics or keywords listing, because we do have, I will tell, not kid you, event managers put everything into that keyword listing. So that will help. And also, two locations, maybe they are within a close proximity to each other, fingers crossed, because you could include them in that proximity search. But right now, nope, we only do one location. Um, Hopefully that helps. And we have ways of working around things, just so you know. We're
Hmm.
not a big fancy company. We're a small business, and we do a lot of work and we get a lot of input from our members on new things that they like. I do want to go back in and find speaking opportunities and show off what a speaking opportunity looks for. So right now, this is looks like it has a deadline of today. FinTech South 2025. We have some topics, some basic description, a little bit of information about the audience, the website, and apply as a speaker. This should take us right to where you would become a speaker or apply to speak. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for our speakers to find opportunities and easily and quickly apply. Once I've applied for this event, I'll say I've applied for it and it'll add it to my dashboard. And that way I can track that opportunity. It allows you to follow up, or just at least to know that, yeah, I've already applied to that one. I don't need to apply again. A lot of times, all these different opportunities, they kind of run together in your mind when you're dealing with literally hundreds of opportunities. All right, how we doing there?
We are
Good?
doing good. Yes.
Okay. All right. Actually, let's go to our community. So, the Innovation Women community is very active. We have a whole area where we say start here. This gives you some background on our community. We have, I believe, about 1,000 members in there currently. There's also a terrific app. We use a company called Circle for their platform, and they do have an app so you can access the Innovation Women community on your phone. We encourage people to introduce themselves, and we have announcements that we make. We do some speaker highlights. We have a whole area for tutorials for the platform itself, and also resources, making this available to our members all in one place, very convenient. Our events calendar is very active. You're in one of our events right now. Look, there we are. It's going on right now. The next event that we have, remember, I bought a magazine called Lioness. Well, Lioness has its own place on the Innovation Women platform and community. So we're doing a parentpreneur panel here. And gee, what a coincidence. All of these speakers are Innovation Women members. Speaker Friend Friday on Friday, the Too Busy to Read book club that is for the Lioness Premium group. And next week, we will have a webinar called Tantalizing Technical Talks, and that is how to make complex and bland topics captivating and compelling. So, lots of great information is available through our group. Um, Author and podcast services directory. Again, these are all Innovation Women members. We believe in doing business with each other. So here's the section where our members can introduce themselves. A lot of asking of questions, asking and answering. So again, we're helping each other out. Networking. Love this. I believe our group actually had a little get together. Well, there's Silicon Valley group is getting together. New York City in-person lunch gathering that happened last week. Call for speakers in Austin. So just a lot of great networking that happens in the community. Phoebe, I'm seeing more questions popping up.
Yes, we just have one question, unrelated to the community, but it's about personal. What is the most successful part-time? What do the most successful part-time speakers do? Folks who are just really enjoying doing this alongside their day job and making good money. What do they do?
Yeah, I think a lot of them, well, number one, filling in your profile. I know this sounds basic, but fill in your profile. That makes it easy. It not only makes it easy for event managers to find you and understand what it is you do, but it also makes it very easy for you to apply for speaking opportunities from our database because you can grab that biography and drop it right in. You've got all of your social media links in one place. If you need to upload a speaker one sheet, it's right there. If you need to grab, cut, and paste that abstract in, it's right there. Filling in your profile it sounds so basic and it's so easy to do, but a lot of people, I think they get distracted. I hate to say it, but Innovation Women, we're a lot, we're extra. And I think the price point for Innovation Women is a little counterintuitive because competitive offerings can run in the thousands of dollars. Things with a database of speaking opportunity, education, and a community where we're $159 a year and $199 if you're an author. You know, we're a mission-based company. My goal is to get more women on stage at conferences and events. And so the price point reflects that. This is a mission. And, so that price point people may think it's a tiny little thing, but it's pretty big and there's a lot and it can be distracting. So, back to what do the successful people do? A lot of them put Speaker Friend Friday on their calendar so they can drop in anytime they have that time free. Same link every week, very handy. They also set up their speaker opportunity match words and they keep an eye on their matches. Like right now, it says I have 96 matches. Obviously, I'm behind looking at my matches, but if you keep up with that, it really is something that you can do kind of in your spare time. Funny side story. Innovation Women newsletters go out on Friday morning. The real reason they go out on Friday morning is so many people told us that the Friday morning timing was great for them. Maybe they only work 4 days a week and Friday is their day to do this kind of thing. Or just that reminder before they go into the weekend. Because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are the days that we do things for ourselves. So, those are some of the things that successful people do who have a day job. And by the way, hello, owns multiple companies. So, I totally get where you're coming from. All right, other questions?
That is it for right now. I think we answered
Okay.
them all.
Excellent. All right. So I want to take you into the bonus content area. We call this the green room. In speaker vernacular, the green room is where you go to learn about or get ready to go on stage. In Innovation Women, it's where you go to learn about the things that will help you get on stage. So we have our whole beginner's corner. This is where we have guided tours and orientations that are recorded, but we do a whole welcome meeting the first Monday of every month. That allows us to welcome in new members, show them around, and that is live. If you can't make that, you can actually go in and find a recording of it. We have our getting started checklist. This is where you can get your video done. And then we get into some of the resource sheets and educational materials. Remember earlier I mentioned if you don't have a speaker one sheet, we have a whole educational module on that. This is it. This is a whole video showcasing all of the different elements of a speaker one sheet. There's an article here that talks about who uses it, how do you use it, questions you might want to ask yourself as you're creating yours. And then we get right down to, hey, here are the templates for that. So it's all in one place. We're trying to make it very easy for you to create your own speaker tools. All of the basics are available to you, or we show you how to do them. Um, in the Innovation Women Green Room, we also have information about everybody's favorite topic. How do I get paid for speaking? Again, resource sheets, educational modules, things about Innovation Women helps you with your speaker business model. Like there's a lot that goes into public speaking and how do you get compensated for your expertise, the value you bring, and also the time that it took to put that presentation together. So there's all kinds of extra helpful information in the green room specific to compensation. What about elevating your career? Again, educational modules, resource sheets. We do interviews with event managers. We have a regular series called Ask an Event Manager. This is where we ask them questions. We do a webinar, but we also do some special stuff just for our members. We have a lot of resources for speaker authors. And this is a collection of all of the different resource sheets that we have. Lots and lots of resources available to you at any time. These are things that you can go in and do anytime you want. One thing you can do is we do profile reviews. We have time live where a member of our team will go in and review your profile for you and give you feedback and ideas. We also regularly record these so that people can see somebody else's profile review if the person gives permission for that. And this is just a great way to get information about making your profile better. All right. I now see a whole bunch of questions popping up. What have we got?
Yes. One question relating to the green room. Are there any specific tools to help someone hone in on one talk idea? They have a lot of bases they want to cover, but they're struggling with being concise.
Oh my goodness. It's very funny. I do coaching for some TEDx speakers, and I had a session recently where this is someone I know. I mean, she's incredible, and her TEDx talk is going to be amazing. But at the same time, she's lived a life. She's had an incredible career. Where do you start when you're zeroing in on that one big idea? So, yes, we do have, there's stuff in the green room that's specific to that, but we're also, well, I feel like I can tell you guys anything right now. We are working on something right now that we're calling Marketing Club. And Marketing Club will allow our members to kind of take advantage of the fact that, oh, by the way, I own a marketing firm and we do happen to have some marketing expertise, because marketing yourself as a speaker and being successful as a speaker takes more than just the ability to get up on stage. You have to have what we call the big idea. The big idea is kind of that umbrella that encompasses what it is you're going to speak about. We also need to be able to promote ourselves as speakers and position ourselves as speakers. So, one of the models that we have as part of that whole process is what we call the signature talk model. It is a Venn diagram, if you know what those are. So you've got a circle, and there are three circles that overlap. When you are thinking about what it is I speak about, you start off with your area of expertise, but I want you to also think about the things that you're passionate about. What gets you excited? I mean, I have a big, long career in public relations, but what am I really excited about? Well, getting executives and entrepreneurs and people on stage, yeah, that's exciting for me. So that's circle number one. All right. You're excited about it and you have an area of expertise. Number two, this is where we're talking about your brand. And your brand is what people know you for. Hey, Bobbie, will you come and do this particular talk? Because I know this is an area that you cover. Public speaking. Yes, absolutely. I do have all of these other things that I do, but right now people know me for public speaking, particularly for women. So that is my brand. That is what I've become known for. And the third area, and I think the one that quite frankly more often gets forgotten, your audience interest. What is it that they want to know? Where can you solve a problem for them? So once you've kind of modeled all of this out, that overlapping area, that's where you want to focus your talk on. I know it sounds simple, but I gotta say, it's one of those things that once you do it, you're like, it becomes sometimes almost immediately obvious. All right. Other questions? How we doing out there, folks? Good? All right. Because we are getting toward the end of our time. And if you have any questions, this is the time to do it.
Yes. We do have one more ready to go. This person's just wondering, how do we compile our database of calls for speakers?
Got it. So remember when I was presenting, I said that I engaged in some pandemic retail therapy? So when I acquired my speaker leads, I also acquired 3 full-time researchers. All they do all day long is look for speaking opportunities. And so that is a portion of where the calls for speakers on our platform come from. Now it's 6 full-time researchers. Number 2, we also get calls for speakers directly from event managers. They come in, they're searching the database, and we make it very easy for them to put up their own call for speakers. They can also use that call for speakers when they're reaching out to speakers, so it makes it easier for them. And the third way that we get information about events and conferences and their calls for speakers, how do I say this? When somebody gets annoyed that an event doesn't have enough women on stages, they send me an email. And yeah, we get probably 2 or 3 emails a week. That conference needs your help. That event had no women on stage. That event was filled with males. Can you please help them? And we reach out to the event organizers and say, hey, we can help you. And sometimes they're coming in from third parties. So that's how they end up in our database. We also have, when I acquired my speaker leads, it came with something like 18,000 calls for speakers. So there's a lot of history there. And speaking of history, Innovation Women turned 10 years old this month. So we have history where we have been marketing to event organizers. Oh, yeah, I do own a marketing firm as well. That helps. And we have also, again, a large database of opportunities that have been there in the past. So if Anita B is, years of history, they keep popping up year after year. So some of it's history and some of it is straight old research and some of it is they annoyed somebody.
Yes, awesome. And we do have one more question. This person is wondering, is there a ridiculous amount of competition, and how do newer speakers stand out?
So there is not a ridiculous level of competition. The great thing about Innovation Women, and I mean this sincerely, is that people help each other out so much. It's a culture thing. People are very proud of the fact that they are able to help each other out. If they can't do a speaking engagement, we encourage them to pass it on to somebody else within the Innovation Women membership. And don't forget, there's 190 industries that we're representing. We have some industries where we have 3 people or 4 people. And to have true choice for an event organizer, I like to have 20 or 30 people. And that could be 20 or 30 people within an entire industry, where, don't forget, the annual conference for that industry could represent 600 calls for speakers. Um, this past year, we had, was it like 16 Innovation Women members who were speaking at South by Southwest. South by Southwest represents over 1,000 speaking engagements. So we're a very tiny percentage of that. And I like to think that we are more collaborative than we are competing.
Okay. And we just got one more question popping in. This person's wondering, do event planners come to us seeking professional development, content / speakers?
Yes, they do. And often what we see is the event planners are looking for general skills. We were working with one conference and it was a technical conference, but we created what we called the Innovation Women pop up, where we did our own day of programming. And the event organizers came in at a time when our room was crazy packed. Like you could not sit down. It was standing room only. And they were like, "What is so popular?" And it was a speaker who was talking about salary negotiation. And the event organizers, big technical conference, said, we should probably be doing something with career development. And that became part of their conference in years afterwards. But a lot of these speakers who do stuff for us, like they are doing the soft skills. I'm going to point to our next upcoming webinar. Our next upcoming webinar is literally somebody who teaches public speaking. And she's been a member for a number of years and gotten a number of opportunities through us. So it's everything. We have a vast number of opportunities. We also have, I think it's fewer than 3,000 speakers. So that's around the world. My goal is to get to have 10,000. So no event manager ever comes to Innovation Women, or just no event manager anywhere can say, I couldn't find a woman speaker for my conference or an event. No excuses. All right. Just real quickly, again, it is our 10th anniversary. So this is an incredible opportunity. Whoops. Hello, come back. There it is. There we go. Incredible opportunity. We're only doing it this month. So May 2025, if you use the code IW turns 10, and that's all in capital letters, all one word, IW 10. Oh my God, IW turns 10. See, this is live. You know it's live because I'm screwing up. But that will get you 50% off. So instead of the Innovation Women membership costing you $159 for the year, it'll only cost you 100. Wait a minute. Did I do the math on that right, Phoebe?
Yes.
Okay. $109 then. Wait a minute. We did rollback pricing.
Yes. So it should say $59 off. Sorry about that.
Stop. Stop right now. All right, everybody. Wait a minute. See, this is what happens when you're busy. All right, $59 off for May only. Even better. And this is the original pricing when I launched Innovation Women 10 years ago. So it'll roll it back to $100 for the year. So I hope you will consider joining us. And I hope either way you will think about public speaking, because I want everybody here to say yes to public speaking. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope this was helpful to you and your public speaking career. Take care, everybody. Is that another question that just popped up? All
No,
right.
good.
Nope. All right, we're good. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.